Hello, sports fans, and welcome. Welcome to episode 232 of the Guru Talking Sports Podcast. I'm your host, the Guru of Sports. Okay, so before I go into talking about college stuff today, college football, this is going to be my main subject today. I want to tell you about my weekend. First of all, on Friday, I was off work, and I've been trying to make sure that I have a lot of time to where I can do some of the things that I need to do. I never take a vacation because I don't believe in, taking a vacation when you got the easiest job in the world. And, just being available and making sure that you do your job is one thing. And enjoying your job, that's another thing too. All right, so I went up to Caden's school and I had to move him in. I think it was a good thing because, like I said, this is the first time I ever had a chance to experience the move-in of my son. Now, the last time I had to move someone in, it was my cousin. My cousin from, a little while back, named Jennifer. She was going to a college, and, my cousin told me, hey, I need your help. So I'm like, yeah, all right, I'll be there. I'll help you out. So it was pretty cool just to do that, just to move a kid in and make sure that they got into their classes pretty much, safely, But moving Caden in was one of the best things because it was just spending time with them for the final time this summer and everything. It was good. It was a really, really good experience. I mean, me and him, we spent a little bit of time together. He worked really, really hard this year, and, he was working really hard with his uncle and everything, and it was a good thing. I told him, I said, hey, look, now you get to see what the real world is. Now you're at your, the last, trip to, trip in the teens. After that, the trip is over, you'll be 20, and, people are going to forget about, I ain't got no teenagers no more. And that's going to be weird for me to say. I won't have a teenager anymore. So, it's a good thing because, you got good kids that try to do the right thing. And I'm proud of them. I'm really proud of them, All right, so let's get down to some of the business that I want to talk about. All right, so we got the 12-team playoff. Everything is going to be looking different this year. Now we had a big upset yesterday with Florida State going down to Georgia Tech. Now, Georgia Tech is not going to be a bad team this year. They're going to be pretty good. They were 6-7 last year, but this win actually ended a 15-game losing streak to a top-ranked opponent. It's going to be really, really crazy. But, like I said, it's going to be different. It's going to be different to the point where you're not going to see the Pac-12 anymore. You only got 2 teams in there now, so it's going to be the Pac-2 or whatever. It's going to be weird to see Oklahoma and Texas in the same division, not in the Big 12, but in the SEC. With the likes of Bama and Georgia and LSU. That's going to be really weird to see. Because, every time I looked at these games, I used to say, oh, Texas, Alabama, Big 12, SEC matchup. Now they're going to be in the same division. It's going to be weird to see UCLA playing Maryland. Or Washington playing Rutgers. Or Oregon playing Minnesota. or Washington playing Nebraska. So, I mean, I just gave you 4 examples of teams which you're going to say, well, what? What the heck is this? You know? It's going to be totally different. And we just have to basically just look at it as, okay, this is the way college is going to be. This is the landscape of college. This is not your grandfather's college anymore. College football anymore. You know. All right. I used to play. I play a lot of Xbox and PS5 and everything. About a month ago, I got this game, college football 24, 24, 25, whatever it is. But anyway, it's a really good game. And it's kind of weird because, like, when you play some of these games, you're looking at it like, well, you know, why is this team, you know, it's going to be weird. It's going to be really, really weird to see some of these matchups. Now, I played the road to the championship or whatever, and it's kind of funny because they said that you might see teams playing each other in 3 separate times. So that's going to be really, really weird itself. So let's say, like, if Ohio State and Michigan played in their their regular game, then they might be able to play again in maybe the semifinals or so, and that's twice in one season. There could be a situation where you see, you might see Georgia, Florida State play Miami 2 or 3 times. It's going to be really, really, really weird to see at first. But like I said, we have to get used to it, and we got to kind of like, welcome it in, because believe me, I don't want to get caught. See, what I usually do is this: if something new comes along, I want to make sure that I give it, the trying out stage, and give it the respect that it earned. I hate to say the word deserve. I don't like the word deserve. Because believe me, the only thing you deserve in this world is an ass kicking. And I always say that. It's one of the guru's favorite sayings. Because it's true. You only deserve an ass whooping. You don't deserve anything. You have to earn everything. That's my motto. You can use that too. You don't deserve anything. You earn everything. Good one. I just made that up too. Anyway, all right. So I look at it this way. I got this thing in 3 tiers. Okay. The first tier would be probably the Big 4 conference. There's only 4 conferences now, major conferences, which is the Big 10, which I think Ohio State will win. The SEC, which Texas I think will win. The ACC, which I think Miami should win. And the Big 12, well, I think Utah should win. So they would be the 4 teams that get the first round buys. They will be on, waiting for the second and third tier to finish up complete and find out who's going to play these top 4 teams. Okay, so 5 through 8 will be probably Oregon, Bama, Georgia, and Michigan. Let's say that those 3. Okay, so what do you got in the second tier? You got all SEC and you got all Big 10. Look like there's no room for the small college to play in. The Liberties of the world, the Memphis of the world, the Boise State of the world. We'll have to see. But like I said, that would be the second tier. And those teams will be hosting those games on their campus. So it's going to be really kind of weird to see, like in the end of December or whatever, or the middle of December, seeing these four teams hosting this game, which is like really kind of like really out of the way because it's not a conference game. It's just it's just the first round of playoffs getting started. Now that 9 through 12, I would say it'd probably be Penn State, Ole Miss, Notre Dame, and I'm going to go with Boise State, So those four teams, the last four, the 9 through 12, will go and play 12 to 5, 11 to 6, 10 to 7, 8 to 9. Okay. So those teams will be basically going into, the house to see what they can do. And whoever survives out of that will play the top tier, which is Ohio State, Texas, Miami, and Utah. Okay? So in the semifinals, I would say it would probably be Ohio State, Oregon, Texas, and Ole Miss. All right? So out of that, the semifinals, I probably would say Ohio State will play Texas. And then I got Ohio State winning the championship. Not because I'm a homer for Ohio State. No, that's not it. The thing is that I look at it this way. Ohio State has no excuse whatsoever not to be a championship team this year. They don't have to worry about Jim Harbaugh. He's going to the NFL. Whoever the coach is up there in Michigan, we can beat them because they're not going to have they're not going to have a magical season that they've had in the last couple of years. Because one, they got to play Washington. Two, they got to play Oregon. And three, they got to play Ohio State. So let's say like if they get those three losses right there, they can still get into the playoff. Don't get me wrong. But it's going to be really, really weird to see, teams getting 2 and 3 losses, and the next thing you know, they're in the playoffs. It's going to be totally weird, folks. It's totally weird. Okay. So there's going to be no reseeding of these either. So it's going to be like Ohio State is guaranteed to play the 8th seed. Texas is guaranteed to play whoever comes out of that, the 10 to 7 matchup. Miami's going to play the 6 to 11 matchup, and Utah is going to get the winner of the 12-5. So we'll see what happens with that. It's going to be really weird. Like I said, keep saying that thing because it is. It's going to be really weird. Now, like I said, I got some predictions, and my prediction is that there's going to be no undefeated teams this year. No undefeated teams. And like I said, you will see teams with 2 and 3 losses getting into this format. Now, like I said, this is a good format. 12 teams is okay. I really liked it at 4 because that means that the regular season did mean something, and you have to win. You have to win. You can't have 2 or 3 losses because that will eliminate you. Now, how many times has a 2-loss team got in the Final Four playoff? The answer is 0. Because no team in the Final Four playoff format had 2 losses. So if you had 2 losses, you were automatically done. You were eliminated. Now, in this 12-team thing, hey, look, regular season, so-so. Now that means that, hey, look, if, like I said, you have 2 or 3 losses, you can get in. And now they're talking about not even played this season out yet. They're talking about expanding this thing to 16 teams. So you could have Liberty, Coastal Carolina, Memphis, Boise State, San Diego State. Some of these little teams can get in. And they're saying it's going to be, okay, well, we're looking at teams, the little teams, trying to make a chance to win a championship. Bullcrap. That's bullcrap. Because guess who's going to be in there? It's going to be a team from the AC or from the SEC or the Big Ten. Plain and simple. That's it. You can't tell me that this is going to be a fair thing for all. We're going to expand it out to make sure that the little guy doesn't get beat out here. Bull crap. Should have left it at 4. Because then, like I said, you will see the cream of the crop rise and get in there. Like I said, last year, a couple years ago, Ohio State didn't earn the right to be in there. They didn't. And it seems as though that we all know that, Alabama has an automatic ticket into the playoff. No, they shouldn't have won. Georgia should have went last year. Georgia should have went because they should have had an opportunity to defend their title. And like I said, with four teams, somebody's going to get screwed. And last year was Georgia. But they got other problems that I'm not going to go into. I digress on that. All right, so looking at certain little things, Michigan's got a really hard schedule. Well, Arkansas State on there, I don't know how they got that, but they got to play Texas, Washington, Oregon, and Ohio State this year. So Michigan's going to be it's going to be interesting to see how they make it. Notre Dame will sneak in. They will find a way to put Notre Dame into this format, no matter what. Even though that they're independent, they're still going to find a way to get Notre Dame in there. I mean, hey, how could you have a college football playoff without having some of your bigger names in there? Blue bloods of the football world get in there. They have to. They have to get in there. Some kind of way. Ole Miss is a very, very good example of a team that I really, really like this year. Like I said, Ole Miss is going to be very, very dominant. Now, this kid, Jason Dart, is going to be up for the Heisman Trophy this year, along with this other kid from Oregon, Dylan Gabriel. Now, I've seen him play. He was pretty good. He's pretty good. Played at Oklahoma last year, transferred, went through the transfer portal, and got to Oregon. His favorite player is Marcus Mariota, number 8, and he's wearing a number 8 too. So, like I said, we'll see what happens. It's going to be very interesting, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Excuse me. Okay. So, that's just a couple guys that I gave you for the Heisman Trophy this year. Now, Ohio State, I think it should be their year. Like I mentioned, probably mentioned before that Chip Kelly will be in there. Chip Kelly will be their offensive coordinator. And if their defense can come around like last year with my man JT and a couple other guys they're returning, they're probably doing the same thing that Michigan did. They're going to return all their guys to come back one last year to try to win this thing. And I think they will have an opportunity to win this thing too. And I think that Ryan Day will get over the hump this year. Oh yeah, Ohio State is going to beat Michigan this year. You know, after 3 years of downtime and, you know, like I said, Harbaugh and, you know, snuck off to the NFL and left the other guy holding the bag. We'll see what happens. But like I said before, it's just going to be really, really weird to see my boys playing UCLA, playing Oregon, playing Washington, you know, playing USC. It's going to be different. Like I said, this is not your father's college football anymore. All right, so I'm going to wrap this up by saying this. This is going to be one of the craziest, weirdest years in college football, probably of all time. Because I'm going to tell you right now, with this Georgia Tech beating Florida State, just opened up the hole for any team in that ACC. I mean, even Stanford, even Cal has a shot to win, you know, and make the playoff. You know, some of these teams that are basically obscure, that we don't even really hear about, might make runs. You might have a Coastal Carolina in this thing. You know, and remember a couple years ago, they were good. They were undefeated. They were in, you know, top 25. But it seems as though that they kind of got overlooked. And now they're kind of back to like being mediocre or so. Now it's going to be weird to see SMU in the ACC. Now that's going to be really weird. Other than, you know, watching Oklahoma and Texas, the Red River rivalry inside the SEC. It's going to be a lot of getting used to. And believe me, I'm like trying to figure it out, but like I said, it should be okay. You know, welcome to the 21st century of college football. And this is basically what they wanted to do. They wanted to get these TV deals out there, and they wanted to make sure that you could see a good matchup every single week. Instead of seeing the same boring Georgia, Alabama, LSU, Georgia, you know, stuff like that. You get some variety now. And you know what? Some of these teams should be able to schedule a little bit better. Now, like I said, I'm not sure what Michigan was thinking when they took Arkansas State in week 4, but, you know, like I said, there's not going to be any slouches on Ohio State's no slouches at all on that schedule. Everything's going to be a heavy hitter. All right, guys. I'm going to get out of here. Appreciate you listening. Enjoy the rest of your sports weekend. And remember, watch this college football stuff. See how it goes. You know, because, like I said, it's going to be really, really different this year. But I want to tell you guys, thanks for listening. You guys, we'll be back next week with episode 233 of the Guru Talking Sports Podcast. Thank you for listening. Later.